All right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Tobias. When you're like this, you're like, you look like you could kill a man. I'm just like, boop. Hey,
How are you?
I am good. I'm glad that you're able to hang out with me today, and also to tell your story. I'm super excited. So, guys, if you're just jumping on in, let me know where you're tuning in from, what city, what state, what industry you're in. Tobias is in the fitness professional industry, and we're gonna dive into his story, into what got him into this crazy world. Tobias actually, when you after you enrolled, I had people reach out to me going like, I know that dude, like I know that guy. So Tobias has been around for quite a while and has built up a really good name and reputation for himself. And he got into it great. So I want to take a step back. Tobias, thank you for showing up here today. So, what made you go into this rabbit hole of Facebook groups? I know that you have an Instagram account. You've been enrolling clients already. What made you decide? Groups, let's go.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, it's a great question. I mean, it's one of those things that you have to be able to nurture your leads. Like it's one of those things that's mandatory. If you're not nurturing your leads, you're only after the front end. And if they don't enroll with you right away, then, how are you going to do that? So you can do it through email. Obviously, you can do it through social media, but like literally the best way is to do it through a Facebook group where you can just really build that know, like, and trust factor. They can get to know you. You can give value. You can do, challenges. You can do lives. You can do all different type of things where people can see you and they can get to know your personality. And two things are going to happen. So one thing that's going to happen is you're going to be able to attract your ideal audience. They're going to fall in love with you, and you're going to build a tribe that'll just like run through a wall for you. And then you're going to have the others that probably aren't going to be a good fit to work with you, and you're going to repel them. And that's perfectly cool too. Like you don't want to continue to have, those people that aren't going to be a good fit to work with you. Like you want to be able to serve those who are going to love you and who are going to vibe with you. So, that's the main thing is I just love to be able to give value to people and help out my fellow Fit Pro peeps. And and so that's what we're doing.
Yeah, I love it. So, how were you enrolling clients before, really going into this Facebook group world? And I know that you have invested in coaches and as well as you like developed a system for yourself to do the enrollment process. Can you walk me through like what type of changes in your own, in the way that you nurture people that led you to more booked calls? And also, let's dive into a little bit of your story, Tobias. What got you into Fit Pro as like the thing that you go and you teach other fitness professionals succeed? So tell me a little bit more about yourself. I know you're like all hyped up. You're like, let's go,
Absolutely. Well, I guess we can start with that. So I can tell you a little bit about me, then we can dive into the other thing too. So I got started in the fitness industry way back in 1999 as a personal trainer. And I was working at, the gym chain 24-hour fitness. And then from there rose up the ranks and did, a lot of gym management. And then I managed multi-gyms and worked, also helped Gold's Gym and InShape Health Clubs, a lot of different, the corporate gym chains. And then I competed and, did all kind of stuff. I'm IFBB Pro, but literally my love is like fitness. And it's always been a part of me. I've been working out since I was 12 years old. And so like, I just love to be able to be in the space that has literally helped me because I grew up without a father. And so like fitness literally changed my life. It gave me something positive to kind of strive for and work out for and build my confidence and my self-esteem that I didn't have when I was younger. So that's why I love giving back. And then literally about 13 years ago, I started doing the online coaching. It was like way before online coaching was even like really a thing. Is I started to do it. I still, I had some people reaching out, and then I just started to like slowly transition, make it a business until I was actually making more money online part-time than I was like managing gyms, full-time. And so I just made that, easy transition, went to online. And then I've been asked, multiple people, hey, can you coach me and telling me how to do it? I was like, no, it's like, it's not really my thing. I'm a fitness coach, and I don't really have a program for that. And then after a while, I got asked a lot of times, and I finally was like, you know what? Let me help my peeps. And I've been doing the fitness coaching so long, it was just like a natural progression for me to now help other people build and grow successful, six-figure businesses. So that's what I do, is I help, fit pros like completely transform their business and their lives so they can have more, time freedom. They can train from, wherever they want to from their laptop, and literally like, financial freedom as well. So that's why I do it, my whole love for it. And I've been doing it for a long time. And that's, maybe why a lot of people may have heard my name or whatever. So, yeah. No, I'm sorry. What was the second thing? The second thing, why, Facebook group? Is that what was the second thing you asked?
Yeah, like you've been doing this for a long time. And part of the thing that I get, part of the, I think, kind of objection is, hey, Kim, I'm already enrolling people. I'm already doing a bunch of stuff. And so, I don't really want, I don't really need to come into a program because I'm already enrolling. I'm doing all these things. So what made you, who's already successful online, go, all right, I'm going to invest and I'm going to try out this method when you have been enrolling members into your online program for years? So I want to dive into that mentality as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm one of those guys that's like, I never think I know it all. I'm always open to continue to grow and to learn. And that's why I've always invested in mentors. That was like the biggest change in my business. Like the first 5 years I was online, I didn't invest in a mentor, and I struggled. I was trying everything, and I was literally banging my head against the wall. It's like throwing spaghetti at the wall, seeing what sticks. I'm sure you guys have heard of that. As soon as I started investing in myself, and that's when my business just really started to take off. So I'm always going to have a mentor, business coach, and I have, I've worked with some really great ones. And now I was like, what I'm not doing is I'm enrolling clients and I'm doing, well, but I want to continue to grow and continue to help more people. And I'm not like taking advantage of challenges and the different things that I know you do. And we have a mutual friend, Michael Rosenberg, who's, talked to me about it. And we just like ended up, okay, well, let me take a look. And then you and I jumped on the call. I didn't expect to enroll. And I just, you did a great job, Kim. So, here I am enrolling in your program, and now, running challenges out of my Facebook group.
Yeah, I love that. And the feedback that I do get, and you'll realize this yourself, is that when people show up to your challenge call, they'll be like, oh, I didn't even expect to enroll, but I'm doing it. And that's such a powerful, I think your people will walk into the realization that this is something that they can put under their tool belt, or it's something that they need. When they've already, they might be concurrently in another program right now. And so what I've discovered is this process really helps them. It's less of a lecture, like you need me, or like this is good for you, than a realization that's like, oh wow, this would help me a lot, collapse time. And that's what I've seen in terms of clients telling me that it's reflected in what's going on with them too. Because people will show up and say, I didn't expect to enroll today, but I'm gonna do it. And you are the client you attract as well. And we have a mutual friend. So, and I know he knows you and he knows me for a long time, and he knows that what we have works and will really help you. So that's really cool too, because I wasn't aware that much that you were the coach that he was working with really helping. I wasn't really that aware until after I jumped on the call, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So let's talk into like the numbers. Let's talk into what was the difference in how you were enrolling before, and this method that you're like, hey, I'm always investing myself. I haven't utilized challenges. I'm gonna try it out. What were the things that you felt like a game changer or something that shifted in the way you were doing things, and then now how can you add, like, what has changed in terms of before you joined Ignite and then now you're in Ignite? Can you tell me what are these changes?
I want to add on to what you were talking about too, because I have, like, one of the clients that ended up enrolling with me, she was already in another mentorship program, and she still, she still had 3 months left on her, business coaches program, and she was in my challenge. She was like, oh my God, I learned more in 5 days working with you than I have in the past 9 months working with this other business coach. Like, I want to work with you. And it was just like the easiest, transition, which was so powerful. So that's the great thing about the challenges, is you can, like, just give so much value, and it's literally, you can make it like a no-brainer for those who really want to step up to the, and continue to develop themselves, which is great. So as far as, what's been working for me, and like, literally it was following just the blueprint that you have, and I'm still diving in. I'm just like at the tip of the iceberg of kind of like going through all this stuff. There's a lot of stuff to be able to figure out, but literally just breaking it down, and the way that it's simple, and the coaches inside Ignite actually give you so much help that it's nice. You can just literally, like, jump on and have your accountability call, get a little bit more clarity on some things that you need to focus on. And now I know that every single time that I do a challenge, it's going to continue to grow and continue to do better and better. And it's literally just being yourself and giving value, and you follow, like, the foundation on, the challenge template. And I actually, tweak some things, and everything that you want to do is you want to make it your own. So it's like, I took some of what you had, and took some of what kind of like makes Tobias, and kind of combined it and made something really great. So it's all good.
Yeah, I love that. And what you mentioned was that I'm glad that your person that you jumped on a call with, she's like, I did more in 5 days than the past year with my other coach, because really you are tapping into that audience, the audience that invests in themselves, buys a bunch of things, and has a more, was sold into something from a cold ad or a cold environment to say yes, but then it's up to them to do a bunch of work and a bunch of things, and they don't have that, like, crazy momentum. So somewhere along the way, they'll, like, drop off from these other investments, or they are still invested, but they're not going for it. And the 5-day training allows them to do something, gives them permission to really, I call it, like, put on a coat, or wear a different dress for the 5 days, or wear a different outfit, where they are really taking action. And you having them say yes to themselves is just a continuance of that journey. And things in motion tend to stay in motion. I say this all the time for my own training. And so they'll feel like they'll miss out if they don't continue with you.
Yeah.
They feel like all of a sudden, the things that haven't worked, they'll go back to that. And they know what that feeling feels like. They know that road, where it leads. And so that's why it's so powerful to me. And it's one of the reasons why it's so powerful. It doesn't matter if they're invested in so many other programs. It's like, look, you showed yourself that this is the momentum that you decide to choose. And you chose my training as a training to participate in. And so I really love that about the 5-day training. You mentioned that there's a lot of support. And I saw your Slack message as well. There's a bit of an overwhelm. There's also, the reason we give you a whole checklist, and even if you don't hit the entire thing, knowing that there are levels to this where you'll convert higher and higher, and you have results on what you did yourself without being absolutely perfect on all the checklists. How did that? So looking at the entire thing, what percentage did you feel that you did that led to your current, like, results, which means booked out calendar and enrolled clients. So tell me like the consumption of the material that we gave you, because I want to dispel the notion that you have to watch like a million modules for this to work for you when you're coming in.
Yeah, to tell you the truth, I have a super busy schedule. And so for me, I was like able to, jump on the call with Michael, and he's like, hey, just watch this video and just watch like just a couple of quick things that I like did. And I just grabbed the tidbits, and then he was like, here's some frameworks, and then you jump on a call, and, he'll kind of like outline like a map on something that you're going to want to be able to target with everything. And that's literally what I followed for my first time. And I was like, hey, my second challenge that I do, I'm going to be able to use what I've already created, and I'll be able to, dig in and actually have some more time to watch some more modules. So literally I was just like scratching the surface, because there's like so much really good content that you have in there. And I didn't have time to even watch all that, but I wanted to launch. Like I literally wanted to get the party started, and like, I didn't want to keep pushing back the date. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to set a date. I'm going to freaking go for it. And I'm going to go all in, and I'm going to give so much value that people are going to be like, look, I want to work with this dude. This dude, knows his stuff. And that's literally what happened. So, yeah, it was a great first challenge, and it's only going to multiply from here.
Oh yeah. And I love it. What did this model give you in terms of, has it give you like reassurance? How were you, because I want to talk about, you booked 15 calls. I don't know what the number is now. Maybe it's still 15, but I know that from the last time it was 15 calls. What was the amount of what was your cadence before in terms of like booking calls? Was it booking, like how has that changed? Because I want to really speak upon the fact that you got so many booked calls, and they're going to be warm, and like how has that changed the way you saw calls being booked, or how has the way the calls are booked for you now changed with this model?
Yeah, it just made it easier, and it really warmed up your leads, because as you guys know, with a lot of coaching is sometimes you have calls that are booked and people jump on a call with you, but they don't really know you so much. But if they see you on video and they've like literally been indoctrinated with you like for 5 days in a row, they're going to be so hot. And those that are like ready to take that next step are going to be ready. It's not like when you have a cold lead and they just barely know you, or semi-warm, and it's just like you're having to tell them all about your process, about who you are. Like they already know all that stuff. So it literally like wipes out all those people that are like, okay, no, that's not a fit. And it puts like quality leads in front of you. And so that's why I think there was 100, like for the numbers, there's 106 people that enrolled in the challenge. There was like 75 inside that actually went to the actual Facebook group. And then from there was, I think it was 15 or 18 total calls that were booked. And then we got 3 people so far enrolled. And then there's some more people that are now like literally putting finances together so they can make it work to be able to join the program in there too. So
I want to do the math on that. So 18 out of 75 people that said yes, that's like 24%. 24% of the leads that come in got on a booked call with you. And then out of how many conversations did you enroll the 3?
That was out of probably, I want to say maybe 13, because some of them had to reschedule and some of them are still like, actually going to be joining as well. So right around 13. So it was, and then there's more that are like literally like, ready to get going too. So it's going to be great. Yeah.
So that's around 23%, 23, 24%. Of the people that says yes to learning from you. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's a really big percentage of the people who, just imagine the next launch you do, you have more eyeballs, more people enroll, more people sign up equals more people enroll. You have a really high conversion ratio for the audience that you have. That's great. Someone has a question. Guys, if you have a question, make sure that you allow StreamYard to show your name. Otherwise, just tell me your name in the comments. Do you talk about the sales call process? We can talk about the sales call process in here if you give me a more specific question. But like usually, because people are so warm by the time they hop on a call with you, the sales conversation becomes less educating them on who you are, what you're all about, than it is like a decision call. Like, all right, like what questions do you have left? And I can answer those questions, but we all know you're on this call to make a decision about the offer I just made. And then one of the questions that I do get asked is, we position you to have all these calls booked out. So how long did you go live until you get like 18 calls to be booked out, in terms of, like what was that nurture timeline that led to 18 book calls? Because if it's from more colder, it's kind of like a grind a little bit to have 18 book calls, unless your ads are working like crazy and you're just like, booking all these calls. But all calls booked doesn't mean conversion at 24%, 23%, right? So I guess my question is, how many days did it take until you're like, you start booking calls for your training?
Yeah, so we waited till day 2 to actually start booking calls. And then right around day 2, day 3, it started just to like pick up. And I think on one of the days we booked like 7 or 8 calls just like in one day. And it was just from like literally, having a call to action, like, hey, if you still want to get some more clarity on some things, let's jump on it. I mean, there's a whole process that obviously you go through. Then at the very end, I offered like, just a basic scholarship, discount in there too, for those that are like interested in continuing to move on. And like everybody wanted to just jump on it. They're like, yeah, I want to freaking do this. So it was like, it was really easy as far as booking the call. So it all started like day 2 and then went through, day 5. And then even after the challenge, we're still, there's still people that are like following up with me and going back and forth and like booking calls. So it's good.
Yeah, April, she did like around $54,000 in her first like 3 weeks working with us. She's still now enrolling people from the first launch. She's still enrolling people from the first launch. So this model, this method is very, I feel it gives a lot of sense of peace, because you know that it's in your calendar, that you're going to be doing it. And outside of it, you can experiment all you want with with how you've been doing things, with getting people on a call, triage call, right? The industry that outside of this is triage to a demo to 2 call, 3 call close, and all of that as part of the the methodology. When this is like super warm, bunch of book calls in a short amount of time span, 2 days. I think, Tobias, for your next training, day 1 is when you should be booking calls, so you can squeeze in even like more, probably 7 more calls if you start booking from day 1, is what we've seen. So for your next training, live coaching. So I want to ask, let's talk about like challenges. What were the things that you feel like was a little bit challenging? And because the awesome thing is, we talked about like what worked. You started booking call day 2, which is crazy. That means that they started like being convinced about your expertise within 2 days, just 2 days seeing you. So what are the challenges that you faced as well? And if you're like, oh, I didn't face that many challenges, because I want to show to the people the things that failed. Like Rochelle had to go and attend a funeral. And then one of her challenges was she couldn't really be there for her launch. She still did $26,000. She still did that because her daughter pretended to be her in the Facebook Messenger messages and kept things going. Then she flew back. So, and then also someone had their face freeze up. So things like that. I don't know, not like drastic examples, but what are the things that didn't work, but you still have all these book calls. You still have 3 people enroll. Did you encounter any tech glitches, anything like that?
My tech went good. I actually did it over Zoom. instead of doing like just streaming it into the group. So I changed it up a little bit and did like a Zoom. And then I had a VIP on the first couple of days where they can stay after with me and get a little bit more structure and guidance if for those people that need a little bit more clarity on some things. And the only thing that I would say that I would have wanted to have for, you know, future time is like, I did this all without a slide deck because I was like putting it all together. I was like, man, I don't have time to finish my slide deck. So I just freaking went with it. Like, don't try to be perfect. Like, getting it done and jumping in there is way better than trying to keep pushing it off and be perfect. I tell coaches this all the time because everybody has that. Well, a lot of people have that perfectionism where they try to just be like, well, I want to make it like super perfect and I want to wait till it's just, there's never going to be just the right time. You have to just get out there and you got to freaking implement and just go get it. So the slide deck is one thing that I wanted to change for next time. Next time, I'm definitely going to run some paid traffic as well. This was done organically, which is nice. So, I mean, you can imagine what you can scale it to when you start to add some paid traffic to the fire. And then from there, like literally the challenge went fantastic. Like the people that were showing up were so engaged. They were motivated. They were loving like everything about it. So like literally I didn't have very many hiccups, which was great. But, you know, I was creating content. So I was actually staying up and like, you know, doing a lot of those things. So maybe at least next time I don't have to like go in there and be so hard to create all the content for the challenge. It's literally just, you know, giving what you know that they need help with and not overwhelming them too. That was one thing I was like, you know what, I don't want to overwhelm the people because I've done things in the past where if you give them too much information, you're thinking that you're literally giving them like extra value, but literally you're hurting them because if you give them too many things to implement, then they're not going to get it done. You need to, you know, keep in mind, everybody's got a busy schedule. So you give them like simple proven strategies on things that they can implement quickly and it's going to be effective. And those are the things that work. So that's what we rocked and what we will continue to roll with.
I love your energy, Tobias. Yeah, so no slide deck. So guys, don't need to go live with slides. That's really, a lot of our clients do slides, but there were some like Adam Gillard, he went live just with his face and it still works because the way that you pitch and the way you talk to your audience is what, you know, we help you really like figure out what to say. And then, you know, and I love that you did it on Zoom. That is a little bit of a different format. For us, it's like going Facebook Live and then taking them into a Zoom in the evening part. That you know, that model has worked out really well as well because it makes the Zoom really exclusive. And it's like funneling them from the live to the Zoom to the book a call. But yeah, that's really cool. And in your Zoom room, you said 106 and you said 75 people were in the Zoom room, or of the 75 people said yes to joining
the actual group. So I had 106 people actually enrolled in the challenge. And then from the challenge, I created a Facebook group where they would have to join the Facebook group. And I believe there were 75 or 76 people that actually joined the Facebook group. And then from there, it was great. The reason why I did Zoom too is because I did a lot of practical work and I made them actually do things while we were on the calls, and I got interaction and I got them to open up and talk about, you know, what's been going on with them. And they love that. It's like we built this tight little community in like a day. In like a day, everybody was like knowing each other and like loving each other. And just like, it was so positive. There was not a single negative Ned in the audience. Everybody was just like ripping and roaring, and they were like commenting in there and just like, they were so excited for the next day. Every single day they were like pumped up, and in the group they were like doing their own posts. I had them do posts on their social media and I had them show it inside the Facebook group. So I gave them like things like homework, a little bit of homework to do each day, and that just brought everybody together, and everybody was commenting and giving each other's props and stuff. So it was amazing.
Oh man, I love that. How many people showed up to the Zoom room from the 75 people who got into the Facebook group?
It had probably between 15 to 20, usually probably around, closer to 20 in there approximately. But then what I did was I showed the replay, and I would send, email and SMS reminders both to, the day of, like right before, And then I would send everybody the replay, and those that like were working and had other jobs during that time is like they all watched the replay, and I would have them comment if they watched the replay, and everybody was just like so interactive in there too, and like giving them homework and like literally having a recap email that would go out, and then having the email with the link directly to the group so they could go directly to the post and do the homework assignment and all those kind of things was great, and it literally just kept everybody together.
Oh my God. So, wow. So that's like 15 to 20 people in the Zoom room, and you got 18 book calls. That's almost a 1-to-1 ratio of the people who show up to a Zoom that leads to a booked call. That's really good. Yeah. I mean, that's a ratio that I try to have clients aim for. It's a 1-to-1. And then the next level is every single person that shows up to Zoom is almost a 1-to-1 ratio of not book only, but closing. So that's really good. Tobias, you're gonna crush your next launch as well. Okay, let me ask the question of like, how did people love things? So in what ways did you handle objection breaking, or like why is it that people wanted to just so effortlessly book a call from your just training alone? Is it, what do you think made them go, okay, let me book a call with you and let's jump on a call and let's have a conversation about the training model?
Yeah, because on some of the days I would let them know that this is just like one small part of a bigger solution, like a bigger type of system that I have laid out. And like if they wanted to get some help and get some clarity on like what the next steps are for them to actually take in their business and be able to find out a little bit more about some of the other things that we do and what they needed to do in order, if they like were serious and they wanted to build a successful, 6-figure online fitness business, then, we can jump on a call and we can go over those exact, frameworks on what they needed to do. And they were like, yeah, I would love to. Like, they love the vibes, they love the energy, they love the personality. And then when I kind of outlined some of the basic, steps of the system, then they were like, dude, I need that. And so it's like they wanted to have a piece of that system and find out more about it.
Yeah, so it's very clear that you have an implementation program for them if they choose to go dive deeper with you, and they're getting value, but not like crazy overwhelmed value where they feel like this is too much, and not a value to a point where they feel like they got it and they're like, okay, thanks Tobias, but I'm just gonna go now. It's like I need to be able to, this is what I need, this is the very next step to what I need. Okay, cool. I want to ask you more about in terms of, you're already an accomplished, you already were enrolling online, everything like that, and you already know all these strategies, you're already smart with automations and everything. I get the objection of this all the time, like, Kim, I already know how to do funnels, copy, why can't I just like mimic you? Why can't I just copy what you have right here and just be successful? So as someone who's on the inside, being that type of person who already knows so many things, what would you say, what is the difference for you? Let's say that you know everything you know now. How much time do you think we saved you in terms of, figuring out this on your own by looking around and witnessing other people, or versus like being on the inside and, consuming what we have to tell you, like, this is what you're going to do. So what's that for you? I'm curious.
Yeah, well, the initial call, when we jump on, we like literally framework out like everything that kind of like the steps that you're going to need to take before the launch. Like that was so helpful. You know what I mean? Because I've done challenges when I was a fitness coach, but I hadn't done them as a business coach before. It was something that I was already planning on doing anyway. So I was like, you know what, let me follow somebody who is successful at doing that and learn from the best so I can implement my strategy. So it definitely saved me a lot of time and headache and, those things when you're trying to figure it all out yourself. And just keep in mind, like, you're either going to spend your time trying to figure it out on your own, and you're probably going to mess up a lot and figure, and like bang your head against the wall and like try things several times to make it work. Or you can just invest in yourself and learn something that's already been proven that works, and you can literally like, shorten your time. So either you pay with your time, or you're going to pay, financially just to get it. Either way, there's a way that you can make it work. It's just like anything at all. If you want to follow a business model, you may as well be working with somebody who's already done what you want to do rather than try to figure it out on your own. So same kind of thing. I take my own advice. I invest in myself. It's like something that I want to learn.
Yeah. So I love that. I love you said like, hey, I just invest. I'll buy the solution. What's the estimate for you in terms of like time that we've saved you? I know that call is, we try to make sure that as soon as you come into the program, you're not met with fluff. That's why we have that type of call, for you to really like feel like, okay, like I have tools, I can go ahead. It's the same reflection as the 5-day training going, do you want to continue your momentum? Okay, this is how you continue it. But some of my clients, I interview them and they're like, it saved this much time for me. It saved this much time. I'm just curious, for you, how do you feel, like what kind of time did it save you? And let me know. I'm really trying to dig in terms of like, what, like, was it worth the art? How soon was it until you got ROI? Because this program is very ROI based. And how much time do you think that was collapsed for you by investing in yourself?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the moment that you enroll, one client, you're gonna, one or two clients, you're gonna make an ROI. I mean, it depends what your offer is, but yeah, so you definitely get an ROI. And as far as time saved, I would say, it probably would have taken me, several other challenges, like, just going through and figuring out what works and what doesn't work. And like when you do that, and you put all those hours and all that time, like it can be frustrating, especially if you're challenged, if you do everything and like there's nothing to show for your challenge. Like that could be like one of the most like heartbreaking things that you do. You're like, oh my God, I gave everything. I stayed up like till midnight on like 5 days in a row and tried to figure everything out, and it still didn't work. It's like, so it definitely saved me some hours. I don't know exactly how many it would be, but because I'm pretty diligent with what I do, but it definitely saved me a lot of time, a lot of energy, and just having structure and frameworks to be able to follow is like, it's so important. If it's something that you want to do, just like anything, right? You want to be working out. Hey, you can go to the gym and you can try to figure out how to eat clean and how to work out. But if you don't follow like a system, or, work with somebody who's been there and done that, you're literally going to probably like try a million different things, because everybody at the gym has a different, perspective. But why not follow somebody who's been, successful, like a fitness coach or something like that, where they can like literally shorten your time frame and just let's work on this. This is what you need to do now. Then we're going to work on this, then this, then this. Super easy system framework is so important for you.
Yeah, I love that, Tobias. I love your answer, because I'm like, I know that, with enough grind, you'll have some success, with enough grind, if you don't invest into a system that already works. And for you, it's more like the mentalness of it. Like, like that frustration is removed. That the effort that you put in, you gave yourself the best shot for it to work out, because that it is going to be effort when you run a training, run a challenge. Like you're going to do a bunch of stuff. And then you're really giving yourself the best chance at all this effort leading to conversion versus all this effort. And then you have to do it again. And it was like zero sales or all that energy for nothing, which is what a lot of potential clients that I talk to experience. They're like, yeah, I did 2 launches and there were no results. And I'm like, oh man, that's a lot of energy.
Yeah, it is.
For 0 sales. Oh my gosh. Do you guys hear that sound coming in or no?
No, I don't hear anything.
Okay, good. Because okay, cool. I had a video just randomly play for a second, and then I'm like, okay. Anyways, I'm back. Okay. So I want to respect your time, Tobias. I want to. I just have a couple of questions before we wrap it up, and then I'm gonna, every single time I interview a client, it's not like, hey, look how great our program is. It's more like, let's give you a shout out. Let's have people know about you, what you do, what you help. Just the other day, we had hop on a call, and I felt like that client would be a better fit for one of my clients. And so like I referred them over there instead, just because it's like, it was a better fit. So before we get into like where they can find you and who do you help, what's the different, why your program is impactful as well, is I want to ask if someone is what type of person do you believe Ignite fits for in terms of, because I have people coming in from all walks of life, and we're now enrolling people who've done millions online right now. For you, after being in Ignite, what's your thought about who we can help? Is because I get the question all the time, like, hey, I teach this very specific NLP thing, Kim. I don't know if it's gonna work in this environment with this Facebook group model. And I kind of want to have you speak to that. What is your belief? What's the type of people that we could best serve?
Yeah, I mean, literally you can use this with so many different niches and industries. It's not like industry specific where it's like only, business coaches or only fitness coaches or anything like that. If you have a Facebook group, it doesn't even probably have to be a big Facebook group. Like it can be like a small one and you can work on building it out. You just have to have that work ethic and you have to have drive, because it's going to be work. And those who think like, hey, if you just join a mentorship and just by having the mentorship, you're automatically going to be entitled to, making an extra 6 figures or on top of what you're already making. Like it doesn't work like that. You have to be willing to put in the work. But if you want a system and you want a framework and you want to follow a proven business model, then that's going to be, literally what you're going to be able to get out of this. And there's so much support, like literally there's different coaching calls, like it, depending upon if you have a VA that you want trained, or if you have, like I have a sales team. So my sales reps are showing up on the sales calls, and I have VAs that can be on the VA calls. And then you have the Facebook ads, calls. So like literally coaches, consultants, like, e-com, you can even do it for. Like there's a lot of different niches that it would work out really well for.
Well, I love that, Tobias. Yay. Okay, so where can they find you? Who do you serve? And what is it that you do differently that gets your clients results above the others? Like what's your unique proposition as well? And then where can they find you?
Yeah, so you can find me, Instagram is tobiasyoung1, the number 1, and then Facebook, obviously Tobias Young, LinkedIn, Tobias Young. My website is tntfitprocoaching.com. That's my landing page, and it just tells a little bit more about me. And then, I'm sorry, what was the other question that you just said?
What's your unique,
what's
your offer?
Yeah, so what I do is I help fitness professionals build a full-time 6-figure online fitness business. So even if you don't have a big following, or you don't have to have paid advertising, anything like that, I teach it so you can actually make 6 figures organically, because I've actually done it myself. And so I go through a whole proven method, and I have a unique 9-box system and that's one of the things that I kind of gave a glimpse of inside my challenge, and why everybody wanted it, because it's so unique and so different from everything else out there on the markets, where you can literally have all of your frameworks for your social media, your emails, everything all through one system, like built out, and you build it out and so offer. So that way, as a fitness coach, you stand out from every other fitness coach out there on the market. So you can be different, because obviously, everybody says, oh, I do fitness plans, workout plans, and I do, menu plan templates. Like, no, you have to have a unique system and offer. So we build all that out. So that's kind of a lot of the things that my clients really, really love, among some other things too. But yeah, absolutely. So no, I appreciate it. And yeah, feel free. Like, I would love to hear from anybody, like whether you're in my space or not. Like, I love just connecting and meeting people. So feel free to reach out, say hi. If you have fun today, then that would be cool too. Just enjoy meeting other like-minded business professional minds that love to crush it. So
I love that, Tobias. Thank you for showing up. And guys, if you've seen Tobias talk, his energy is through the roof, and like you can tell he's so passionate for what he does, and he's been doing this for a very long time. And it makes me feel so proud to be able to have clients come in and be part of the community and the collective that are operating at that level. And to me, I'm very excited that someone that's been in the industry for a long time has can get value from what we offer, because really we start off just teaching something, just teaching group growth, but it has evolved into this methodology that works regardless of whatever industry you're in and regardless of where you are. And we are picky with who we work with now. So we want to make sure that you're a good fit for us as we are for you. And we're like enrolling rock stars. So Tobias, one of those rock stars. Amazing. Thank you, Tobias. So go to tntfitprocoaching.com. You can find Tobias Young at Tobias Young on Tobias Young 1 on Instagram. And thank you so much for spending this time with me today, Tobias. I'm going to get you back on when you do your second launch to see what are the results from that. You already enrolled 3 clients. You have a 24% booking rate. You have a 23% close rate right now, which is amazing. And I can't wait to see how you're going to crush the next launch as well. So I'm going to go ahead and put you back into the waiting room right now. Thank you so much for your time. And you can click the X button to also get out. But thank you.
Okay. Thank you for having me. And then Fit Pros, join the online Fit Pro community if you want to check out the group as well. See you soon. Thanks for having me.
All right. Bye. Okay, Tobias, that is Tobias Young. He is amazing. I heard great things about Tobias even before he enrolled. And then after he enrolled, people were hitting me up going, I know him. So I just love being able, you are the client you attract. So if you are a client who constantly invests in yourself, you play at a higher level, you go all in, full out, those are the people you attract. And I'm really excited for the future of what to bring with all these enrollments, these warm conversations. And guys, just to remind you, the cart is closing tonight. So if you are just on the fence and you need a little bit more time, make sure that you go and you open up a conversation with the team and you schedule your call. You at least book your call, even if you're on the fence. Because then with that, we can extend your time in this group just a little bit for you to have the time to decide whether you want to continue this journey, this momentum with us into the next year, or this is where the momentum stops and this is where it ends. So all the videos will be coming down, making sure that you do, if you're slightly on the fence, you do book the call. And I'm excited, super excited to be working with you for Ignite. We have amazing clients who already enrolled with us, as you can see from all the congratulations posts. And we have a few more to come before we close the cart, okay? All right, have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll see you guys in the next video.
Oh yeah, if you like that video, then you will love all the resources that I have over at kimcdang.com. That is KIMCDANG.com. There you will find all my courses, my extensions, all the offers that I have, as well as a lot of free resources if you are just getting started.